Millions of workers are quitting their job, and this is something that is happening at an unprecedented rate, and it is something that is being referred to as the Great Resignation. So in this video, let's jump into why so many people are quitting their jobs, starting new careers, and how this is impacting you and the future of all work. Now, in order to understand the Great Resignation and everything that's going on, we need to first take a step back to about a year and a half ago when the unemployment rate skyrocketed and was at the highest point since the Great Depression period. And that was, of course, because the world was shutting down into lockdowns. Many companies had to either lay off a large percentage of their workforce or at least furlough them, or a lot of people experienced pay cuts. And this is something that had a huge effect on the entire globe. And it is something that, of course, as the human species, we were all working towards getting out of. However, when we look at all of the measures that were put into place because of that, that is when you get into looking at all the unemployment, all the small business loans, and all of the support that got injected into the global economy to keep everyone afloat. So what was happening was millions of people were now getting unemployment for not working. And of course, there was a lot of things going on, a lot of even more unknowns in the beginning, to the point where a lot of people weren't working. However, this has started to shift and companies are actually having a hard time hiring people. So there has been a lot of new efforts in the last few months to try to get more people on board, all the way from increasing minimum wages, offering multi-$1,000 signing bonuses, and even waiving THC from drug tests. So this is all a sign that even though the unemployment rate was at the highest point it's been in decades, now people are reluctant to get back to work. So let's get into why people are quitting their job and what are the different reasons that are impacting this. Now, the first reason, and it's no secret, is the flexibility. Workers are craving more flexibility. They want to be able to work from home. They want to be able to control their schedule, and they want to be able to avoid those lengthy commutes in and out of the office multiple days a week. More and more people are getting comfortable working remotely, working from home, and that is why working from home and working remotely is here to stay. Now, if we look at this video, we can see that CNBC did a feature on this, and it's about why so many people are going to be looking at having flexibility in their career and the ability to work from home. And this is from someone who is working at Google. So let's check this out.
From you, when we were in this space of not connecting, where we ended up as a company is offering as much flexibility as we could to enable Google employees to optimize for themselves while also giving teams what they needed. A default option that we think most employees are going to take advantage of, which is coming into the office 3 days a week and working from another location 2 days a week. It lets you do all the things we came to love about working from home while also getting that moment of connection and the ability to do innovative work in person in the office.
So as we just heard there from a Google representative, even big, huge corporations like Google and Facebook and all of these massive corporations that are hiring thousands of people, even they are having to let some control loose. They're letting their employees have more flexibility. And even if that doesn't mean working from home every single day of the week, they're giving them 2 days a week now to work remotely and to have more flexibility in their day. And that is something that has been a byproduct of the rapid shift to working from home. And all of the studies that came out, and they even mentioned it in this video, CNBC Make It did, was that productivity increased once people were comfortable working remotely, working from home. They got their desk set up and they figured out a schedule so their kids and their pets weren't in the background all the time. Once they got that sorted out, everything is pointing to actually more productivity when you're able to have that flexibility, when you're able to control your daily schedule, when you're able to work from home or work from wherever you want to as you're traveling. That ultimately led to more productivity, and not to mention 1 to 2 more hours in time, because that is the average commute. Think about your commute. It's not just that trip to work, it's the trip there, the trip back, getting ready, all of those different things. It adds up. Even if it's only a couple hours a day, you look at that, that's 10 hours a week if you're working, 5 days a week. That's 40 hours a month. That is things that really add up, especially if you're able to turn that into productivity and then you can even have more free time. So it's not that just having more flexibility ultimately means that you're going to be more productive. However, that is what workers are going for, and companies and corporations and the way the whole world is working is rapidly shifting to meet that demand in order to retain talent. Because these businesses and these companies can't have their entire workforce leave, or they won't have anyone to get things done. So that's one of the most important things to understand, is that people are looking for more control over their career, over their day-to-day working schedule. And because of all of the things that have happened and shown that we can be productive when we work from home, we can use Zoom, we can get contracts signed, we can do about 90% of the things that you can do in an office, you can do remotely, and then that extra, whatever it is, 10% can still be done in the office place. However, companies like Google and Microsoft and these massive corporations, they have a lot of incentive to still get their employees into the office place, which is why people are even considering quitting great career roles, because even though they're offering more flexibility, they're not giving away all the control. So they're not saying you can just work remotely forever. They're saying there needs to be some sort of compromise there, and a lot of people don't want that, and that's why they're quitting. So that's the first reason so many people are quitting, the Great Resignation, is they're looking for more flexibility. The second reason so many people are quitting their job is because of the earning potential and because of their career growth potential. This all goes down to what people actually want to do in life. And a lot of times, unfortunately, it takes something kind of traumatic to happen for you to look at your life and to really analyze where you're going. Am I going in the right path? And as the last year and a half has shown so much uncertainty, it really made so many people just dig deep inside and to look into the mirror and ask themselves what they want to do with their life. Are they going on the career path that they want to do, or are they doing something that they're just, getting by from, or something that they thought their parents or someone outside of them put that on them, that's what you need to do? People are reanalyzing that, and not only are they asking themselves what they want to ultimately do in their career, but they're also looking at making more money and being able to earn multiple flows of income. And when we take a look at this article here, of the 1 in 4 workers is considering quitting their job after the pandemic, and here's why, and we get into here, we can see that of the 26% of workers planning to leave after the pandemic, 80% are doing so because they're concerned about their career advancement. So a large majority of the people that are leaving and quitting is because they see themselves in this role. It's a dead-end job. They're never going to really make anything out of it. It might be able to pay the bills right now, but they're looking in the long run. They're looking at, where should I be setting my foundation up now, so in the future, in 10 years, in 20 years, I have the career I want, I have the life I want, and I am moving in the right direction. So that's the second reason. The first was flexibility. The second was having more opportunity for growth, whether that's making more money, creating the career you want. And now let's get on to the third reason people are leaving their jobs. And that is because they are discovering a new way to work. And that is making money online. Whether that's a freelancer, a consultant, starting your own business, there are millions of people creating businesses, learning how to get out of the 9-to-5 grind, learning how to escape the hourly trap, escape the salary trap, and to take their control back and offer value for the services they provide instead of getting paid for their time. Now, if you follow me, if you subscribe to the channel, you know I preach everything about freelancing, about entrepreneurship, about creating lifestyle freedom. And I found the really best way to do that is to become your own boss, to take the power back, take control back over your life, get it out of the hands of the corporation, and make yourself the boss, put yourself in charge. Now, of course, with that comes great responsibility. It comes great discipline in order to be able to be your own boss, to wake up every day, to understand how to build clientele, build multiple streams of income. And that is something that you can work on while you have another position. But that is something that so many people have been doing, looking at the rise of the gig economy. You look at all these massive freelance platforms like Upwork.com, like Fiverr, like Freelancer.com. All of these marketplaces are getting flooded with more and more demand on the client side and on the freelancer side. So if we take a look here, the CEO of Upwork, Hayden Brown, made a video responding to the Great Resignation and what this means for freelancing. Let's take a look.
Hey everyone, a lot of folks have asked me about what I think the Great Resignation means for freelancing. And overall, I think it is a win for freelancing, because one thing that we've seen is that as talented individuals are leaving full-time positions at a lot of companies, they're not all moving to their next full-time position at another company. A lot of them are actually choosing to set themselves up as freelancers. In 2020, more than 20 million Americans freelanced for the first time, and 60% of those that we surveyed said that there was no amount of money that they could be paid to go back into a traditional full-time job, because the benefits of freelancing were working so well for them, including the flexibility to work when, where, and for whom they wanted to work, to set the terms of their employment, set their own rates, and really focus on the types of work that they enjoyed most. So this has been a growing and popular area of the workforce, including for younger generations of workers, such as Generation Z, more than half of whom are already freelancing today. So the best companies have started to figure out that they not need to make tapping into freelancers on platforms such as Upwork a really proactive part of their workforce strategy, because they need this talent to close critical skill gaps and to bring more agility and efficiency into their operations. So this is a great moment for companies and talent alike, seeking flexibility, seeking new ways of working together, and for companies to bring freelancers into the core of their operations in new ways. This is a moment when so many companies are really figuring that out and doing it at scale like never before.
So as we just heard there, even the CEO of Upwork is addressing this great resignation, and she really makes a lot of good points, everything that I preach on my channel, but that freelancing is the future of work, not just on the freelance side, but also on the client side, on the corporation side. They're realizing that they need to be able to access talent for all the same reasons people are quitting their job. That is also fueling the push to freelancing, fueling companies to get on Upwork, to hire talent from all over the world, to not be geographically limited to one area, and be able to access that talent that they need. And they don't have to pay benefits. They don't have to have all this overhead. They don't have to get them in the office. They can pay them to work remotely as a freelancer for the value they provide and the services they provide. So just like with anything in life, you need to be ahead of the curve. You need to be able to see where things are going. And if you can position yourself as a high-paid freelancer or an expert consultant, I'm telling you, that is the way you are going to have success with the way the world is working and the way the world is shifting. I hope that was a helpful video. I want to leave it with this quote from Kevin O'Leary. It states, "A salary is the drug they give you to forget your dreams." So if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. It helps spread this to more people. You know how the algorithm works. Also, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be producing much more content about this. And if you or someone you know is quitting your job, starting a new career, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear about what people in the comment section are doing so we can start to communicate and build this community. So I hope you liked the video. My name is Paul Mendez with Profitable Freelancer, and I look forward to your success.